In the air of Ward 34 of St. Grace Hospital, there was a scent interwoven with disinfectant and despair. 8-year-old Ethan Parker lay on the hospital bed, his pale little face buried in the pillow. The heart monitor made intermittent beep-beep sounds, just like his weak heartbeat. Mother Sarah's fingertips brushed across her son's parched hand back. Father Michael suddenly turned his face away, his shoulders trembling violently. Dr. Richard Coleman's words, "The heart is too weak to do anything about it," were nailed to every corner of the room like an ice cone. The last guardian, Charlie, the golden retriever, was lying on the edge of the hospital bed. His golden fur had lost its former luster, but he still stubbornly rubbed the tip of his nose against Ethan's palm. This dog, which has been by Ethan's side since his birth, has not left the ward for 3 days and 3 nights. Even when the nurse changes water, it has to growl to protect its owner. At this moment, it suddenly pricked up its ears, its amber eyes fixed fixedly on the window. The midnight moonlight shone through the glass, casting a silver-gray band of light on the floor. Charlie let out a low SOB in his throat, and his front paws were uneasily digging the ground. Beep, beep, beep. Ah! The monitor suddenly gave a sharp alarm, and the curves on the screen jumped wildly. Sarah screamed and rushed towards the bedside, while Michael had rushed out of the door, shouting, "Doctor!" When Dr. Coleman rushed into the room with the nurse, he saw Charlie jump onto the hospital bed and press his entire body against Ethan's chest. "Get the dog out," the doctor shouted sharply, but was blocked in front of Sarah. "Please, let it stay. We have tried all the methods." The resonance of life Charlie seemed not to have heard the human dispute. He just placed his furry head on Ethan's chest, and his even breathing made his chest rise and fall slightly. Something wonderful happened. The beeping sound of the monitor gradually slowed down, and the curves on the screen became smoother from jagged. Ethan's eyelashes suddenly quivered, and the eyes that had been closed for a long time slowly opened, with Charlie's wet nose reflected in the pupils. "Charlie, ... His voice was as soft as a feather. "You didn't let me go, ... What?" Sarah's crying instantly broke through her throat. Michael hugged his wife tightly, and his knuckles turned white due to the force. Dr. Coleman stared at the monitor and then looked at Ethan's cheeks, which had turned red again. His Adam's apple rolled and he couldn't speak. Medicine couldn't explain why. At the last moment of heart failure, a dying child would wake up because of a dog's embrace, the price of love. When Ethan fell into a deep sleep, Charlie quietly climbed out of bed and walked to the corner with unusually heavy steps. It was only then that Sarah noticed that the usually lively golden retriever was now soaked through, its tongue drooping feebly and its eyes full of exhaustion. She crouched down and stroked Charlie's head, her fingertips touching a cold sensation. "You saved Ethan, Charlie. You are our angel." The following examination results shocked all the doctors. Ethan's ejection fraction of the heart rebounded from 15% to 30%. And the myocardial cells that were originally expected to continue to deteriorate showed weak activity. Dr. Coleman wrote unusual recovery in the medical record. But during his late-night ward round, he saw Charlie lying beside Ethan's bed, his tail gently sweeping the floor, while Ethan's hand was resting on the dog's back, and the monitor's light cast overlapping shadows on both of them. Answers beyond science. On the day of discharge, Ethan rode on Charlie's back, and the little golden retriever carried the young master through the hospital garden. Sarah looked at the man and the dog running in the sunlight, and suddenly remembered what Michael once said, "Have you ever heard that animals can cure humans?" At that time, she just took it as her husband's nonsense, but now she saw Charlie suddenly stop, turn around and touch Ethan's cheek with the tip of his nose, and the boy's laughter spread in the air like silver bells. Medicine can't explain why Charlie's hug works wonders, just as it can't measure how many decibels a dog's love has. But everyone who has witnessed that scene knows that when the alarm of the monitor pierced the night sky, it was a golden retriever that built a warm bridge between life and death with its body temperature and breath. Perhaps beyond science, some forces have long been written into the contract of life, such as loyalty, such as protection, such as when the whole world is ready to give up, there is always a pair of eyes that keep the light on for you, never going out.